Hello, my friends and family. It's Amy Smith Dupree. I would do a turn, but I'm in a chair. It's your real estate extraordinaire. I'm in the Fort Mill office. Like I said, sometimes I work out of here. I've been working out of here a little bit more here, like recently. But I wanted to get on here today and talk with you guys a little bit about tips and tricks for sellers. Kind of part two. I did one maybe like a week ago, maybe like 2 weeks ago. Just talking about what I do as a listing agent to kind of help people get ready. But I thought that I would kind of pull the thread on that a little bit, and talk about some things that you do before you even get to the market. I talked a little bit about that already, about decluttering and depersonalizing your property, um, things like that. But um, again, I can't give you all the sauce, guys. I can't give it all the sauce, but I can give you what I can give you. If you want all the sauce, then I would be happy to meet you at your property. Um, and we can talk a little bit further. I also have a different rules of engagement for my investment property clients or my investor clients. Um, that is has to do with like ARV and all of those things. So that'll be a different video, because there are a lot of people who are well, the way things are going, there are going to probably some opportunities for investors, like the mom and pop investors, to purchase property if things keep going the way that they're going. But that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. But what I wanted to talk about, I had something come up with a client who is thinking about putting their house on the market, and what they were asking is if they should do an appraisal, before they put it on the market. You can do that. I don't recommend doing that. I don't advise my clients to do it, and it's for two reasons. Those appraisers or appraisals are getting more and more expensive. When I first started in real estate, an appraisal, even when I was in mortgage, when I was like ordering the appraiser to go out, they were like 450 back then. And we're talking about like within a 10-year span when I was in mortgage and transitioning over to being a realtor. And now they're 850 for just like your regular smegular single family home. So if you don't have an extra 850 to spend just to check and see what the value of your property is, I don't recommend it. And also, appraised value does not equal market value. Um, and we saw that through COVID. What somebody Market value is what somebody is willing to pay for something, versus appraised value is that you have an expert that comes in and assesses things that have sold around your property, or whatever you're selling, and has assessed what the value is. That does not necessarily mean that somebody will come in and say, I'm not willing to pay that. This is what I'm willing to pay. And five other people are within that same range. It's like, this is what we're willing to pay. So appraisals are great. It gives you some sort of foundational information, but is it the last end all be all? Absolutely not. We see appraisals come in short all the time, especially now because there is some uncertainty in the market. And there are two schools of thought. Some appraisers are very conservative. That is just who they are. That's how they came up in the game, um, being conservative. And then there are some appraisers who give value a little bit more freely. So, and all of that is just luck of the draw. So, I would not recommend paying $800, $900 for something that may not actually be what you're able to sell your house for. Um, we're seeing appraisals come in short right now, meaning you have your purchase price, and then the appraisal is coming in much lower than what that purchase price is, and so then you in turn have to figure out how to mitigate that as an agent and as a seller, or as a buyer's agent and a buyer. Um, so yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. If you want to do it, have at it. I am a huge fan of doing a pre-inspection. Now, some people are not, because once you uncover what those things are that need to be repaired in your property, it is a material fact and it has to be disclosed. But I think that if you can get ahead of a problem before it hits the fan, well, why not do that? If you have a house that was built in 1950, why not just have a pre-inspection done so that at least you know what you're up against and what will be found during the inspection period once your house does go under contract. Like, nobody goes under their house. Regular people don't just go and check out the crawl space. What's popping down there? Most people don't. And so once you get an inspection, you're like, whoa, I didn't know all these things were going on, because who goes down there, girl? Especially like if your house is older, those doors to a crawl space are so small. Who want to just, and girl, it be snakes down there. Right? I done seen all kinds of stuff down there, like the snakes. No, no, we're not doing that. We're gonna hire somebody to do that and give us that information, that report, and we can go from there. And it will make that repair portion of the contract go much smoother. So you can just upfront be like, hey girl, let me talk to you for a minute. I already know that I need this, this, and this. I can either fix it, girl, or I can give you $5,000, girl. What's up? Let's do it. It just makes it. I think it makes the seller look very agreeable or workable, and I think it makes the agents look very knowledgeable. If you're a listing agent, and also you can give that as a seller, you can give that report to your buyer. That's a value add. Now they don't have to go spend $400 or whatever it is to get an inspection done. So it's something to think about. Everybody doesn't want to do it. I have paid for some for sellers in the past, depending on what the circumstances. Now every situation is different. I don't do it all the time, but I do. I have done it, and I would love. I'm going to do a video about all the things that I've paid for as a realtor. I paid for a refrigerator one time. Make that make sense, but whatever. It's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. Um, we talked about the decluttering. I also like doing the small updates. Like, if you know that the knob in your upstairs bathroom fell off 5 years ago, just put the thing back on there while you have time, because a prudent buyer's agent is going to use everything against you, and not in a bad way. But this is a negotiation. There are no winners or losers, but you, as a good agent, is going to use everything as leverage. Like, oh, the knob is off. How do I know that the whole door doesn't have to be repaired? Like, that's the type of agent I am. And no shade, no tea. It depends on what side I'm on, whether you love or hate me. Okay? It's okay. Um, so yeah, the little things, like if you're like right now in my kid's bathroom, the towel rack is like kind of coming off the wall. I need to get that. If I was going to sell my house, I need to get that fixed. Um, because the buyer's agent can come in and be like, "Oh, the whole wall might need to be replaced. So is that water damage? Is it?" And it's none of those things. It's just they're going to be able to use it as leverage. You know what I mean? Um, those are the main things that I want to talk about. Also, just like little things, if your house was built in like 1990 or like the early 2000s, the hardware on the drawers may need to be replaced. They may just look a little dated. You'd be surprised how just going to Lowe's and getting like those nice, gold or silver long, you know what I'm talking about. Hardware for your drawers and dressers and cabinets just really gives a fresh look. Paint the things that you need to paint, do the things. Um, because the nicer your house presents, the more in love buyers are going to fall, and the less issues you're going to have during repair negotiations. So that's my spiel. This video's gone on way too long. You didn't know I could sing also. I know you didn't. That's cool. But if you have any questions, comments, emotional outbursts, put them in the comments and I will respond. And if you want a personal consultation with me, baby, all you got to do is ask. My phone number, my contact information is in the little part that you look at or whatever, girl. That's all I have for today. Okay, bye.